But you gotta listen to this dude. This dude sound the alarm, and this actually made me a little nervous, and it made me a little bit like, okay, so how do we get ahead of the curve? So I want y'all to see this too, and listen what this guy has to say. And when he said this, I was like, oh, it kind of gave me chills a little bit. Kind of gave me the chills.
Absolutely terrible.
Pretty view.
In the coming days, we are going to have a seismic bond market collapse in the United States of America. The fixed income market's going to go to zero, and there is going to be a pigs nation style like event. Earlier today, on the heels of, all this mixed messaging, we're seeing overseas in Japan, for example, the yen carry trade unravel, which basically fuels all the debt here in the United States. This is why gold and silver and real estate prices, of course, have been soaring in recent years. This is going to cascade into a massive pig nation style like collapse.
I said before, Medicare is super confusing. The mailers are endless. The phone calls are endless. The fine print is endless. You don't know what you're looking at. It's no wonder so many people end up on the wrong plans. No wonder.
And that can cost you thousands every year or worse. Make it harder to see your doctors or get medications.
It's a better way, people. There is a better way. Chapter compares every Medicare plan nationwide, not just a few. They work for you, not the insurance companies.
Call is free, no pressure. And if you're already on the right plan, they'll tell you. Just honest help from a real human.
Like I told you before, most people get answers in under an hour. And seniors who switch to Chapter save up to like $1,100. And I know for my mom and my mother-in-law, $1,100 is a good little pocket change. Call Chapter. You have nothing to lose and peace of mind to gain.
Reserve tokens.
This will be the
This
Amero.
is something that Donald Trump has been working on full force, and I believe that this is going to happen this week. So let me explain. You remember in 2008 and 2009 when all the major financial institutions ran out of liquidity, so it was full-blown bank runs. It was like AIDS infecting the entire financial system. There was panic, and we had congressmen warn of martial law. Those were all very significant events, and then we saw a massive collapse in the United States. I actually think that that's going to happen again, but much worse, a little different, and I'm going to explain what's different about it. As the U.S. debt market now implodes, this is a sovereignty collapse. This is where the rest of the world has been selling all of our treasury debt because it's now been downgraded to trash. Moody's, the last of the three major ratings agency, just downgraded U.S. government debt because the debt is so enormous, even with what Donald Trump has been trying to do and Elon Musk have been trying to do with Doggy, they can't stop the avalanche. So I want you to understand that the information I'm revealing to you now is a triggering event for...
So there was a prophetic word from my guy Ben and Troy, but Ben said it last year. They said that after Trump's presidency, which, it's not Trump's fault at all, but after his presidency, it was going to be unleashed that what had already been being held back before Trump got in office about the economy. It was going to be released. They were holding it back and not telling. This is Democratic Party. We're well aware that it was going to be a full collapse. But they held it back and made it sound like everything was cool until the election, because whatever they were going to try to do to try to make themselves look like the hero, or they were going to be on the up and up a little bit more with it, which they wouldn't have been able to stop the two of Kamala taking office. But it would have been the up. It was still going to be collapsed, but now they left it. They just capped it all. I mean, now this is the stuff that they were talking about that they did not tell, that the president didn't know, did none of that know. The best thing Elon could do and they could do is get in there and start trying to do what they could do, but it still won't stop it because it's so massive.
Okay.
Tired of me?
No,
okay,
go ahead.
Okay.
Avalanche of debt that must be reset. This is going to cause a systemic panic in the United States of America. It will be the most terrible financial Armageddon that you have ever seen. It will make 2020 and the lockdowns and all that terrible stuff that happened look easy compared to what's happening, because the US dollar, keep in mind, backed by the military industrial complex, was once the strongest currency in the world. It was where people went for a safe haven. Now that the US dollar is dead and they've spent so much money, and your politicians are so evil and they're drunkards on this whole new level where they've been spending to infinity for the longest time. I mean, we have this is astounding. I want you to think about this. $36 trillion worth of debt. They can never, ever pay this back. So the only thing that can be done is a collapse into the new system. What's terrible about this is...
But that makes sense. Unfortunately, it's like we can't do nothing about this debt. So we got to completely bankrupt this system and create another system, because that system is done.
Right. It makes sense. So wait a minute. So what's happened to your stocks and investments?
That's all going to crash. That's what he's saying.
But can you turn over your stocks into crypto? Are they going to let you be
that's
able to use that?
100%. That's 100% encrypted.
I got to switch my investing strategy again. Okay.
You got to do some research. See what this, and listen to more of this guy. See what he's talking about.
It's going to create a wealth divide unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the world. It'll be much worse than the feudal societies that we've studied in history, much worse even than Rome. So we're kind of entering, and this is what I've been telling you all for a long time, we're entering this renaissance where the wealth, because it's flowing like the sea behind me or water, has to go somewhere. And it's relieving itself from old U.S. debt, bonds, 30 years, 10 years, all those equivalent securities, and it's got to go somewhere else. I mean, it's so bad. The U.S. government is so bankrupt now that the great states of Texas, which I love, and North Carolina and Florida actually have a higher rating than the U.S. government. So China is selling trillions of dollars worth of bonds. All of these foreign nation states, including Europe, that also hate Donald Trump, by the way, the European zone hates Donald Trump. So they're selling all of their debt. The Japanese premier, thank God he's still alive, because we remember what happened to Shinzo Abe, right? He was capped in the back. That was all one deep state setup. Again, the people in charge of your financial markets, of politics, of the system, and of the central bank are, in my opinion, I have to say, the most evil people on this planet. I mean, go back to Shinzo Abe. They literally put him in a town square, left his whole back open to be fired on. Absolutely insane. But the Japanese premier today admitted, and I tweeted this at AMTV Media, that they are insolvent as a nation. So what this means, and a lot of you aren't financially astute,
Yes, correct.
no worries about that. You didn't work on Wall Street like I used to, so I'm not expecting you to be astute in some of these areas. But let me explain to you, this carry trade of the yen, as it unravels, is going to create a derivative time bomb that's going to explode into a nuclear weapon in our financial markets. There is a multi-quadrillion rigged derivatives market right now, synthetic securities, the same things that collapsed the system in 2008 and 09, all the mortgage-backed securities. Notice mortgage rates actually popped above 7%. What was it? Let's take a look at this now, because this is looking like Greece. You remember when Greece had riots right after 2008 and 09, when the Pigs Nation style collapse occurred? And I want you to understand, though, too, this is the plan of the elites. They set you up. They hate your guts. They hate you so much. They set this up because they're planning on resetting into Bitcoin. They're planning on resetting it into crypto, into CBDCs, otherwise known as state.
See, I was wondering, too, why Warren Buffett, see, it was said that, okay, he was selling off all his stocks and stuff like that because so he can, they can drive the market, let it go low and buy high. But what if he was resetting it because he's putting his money into in coins that will be, and he's, even though Bill he said that, he don't believe in crypto, but what if he believes in money, so he's gonna move into whatever insight he has to move in. So what if he's moving his money there?
stable coins. They have a new bill passing through Congress right now at this very moment that's going to replace the U.S. currency. So yeah, look at this. This is absolutely insane.
The
If we're
Maro's
looking
coming,
at
y'all.
U.S. Treasury debt, man, huge moves in the 10, but most notably the 30-year. And so we're seeing interest rates above 5% skyrocket. What this does is absolutely cripples the middle class. It's literally going to destroy 99% of all Americans that, think the politicians, maybe they're not paying attention, got it figured out. I'm telling you straight up, they don't. This is a massive scam, and they're literally going to reset the system into a hyperbolic infinity pump into Bitcoin and crypto. And they're going to scam everybody into this new blockchain technology, which Jamie Dimon used to say was a fraud, but now he's going all in. He says he still doesn't like it, but he's going to allow his wealthiest clients to now bankroll it and invest in it as a part of JP Morgan Chase. It's what I've been saying.
Now it makes me also think about, you remember the head of crypto who they could never find, the real person, Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever his name was? That probably was not no Asian person. That probably was the government making this false name to start the crypto from zero, from nothing, to it evolves into what this is. That might have very well not been a human being.
I don't even know. I can't even begin to fathom.
Because
Now
they
it just
could
got in my
have had
brain,
this
it's
planned
like,
out for so long, babe. They could have had this plan for so long to do it a
Possibly.
certain way. And they know that you got to have an alibi to come into the system. And that's
But
what they
now
did
my
with Satoshi
brain is
Nakamoto.
just like trying to reprogram, because as soon as I'm thinking I'm about to start one investment cycle here, now I'm like, okay, start over and get focused back on crypto. Because I was just trying to sell all the crypto that I had
Yeah.
to get the money to put in over here in this
But it still comes
vehicle.
with education to make sure you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying for years that these dirty elites have set up a crisis worse than 2008-09. But what a lot of you are missing is this is not going to be like 2008 and 09. It's going to be a hyperinflationary transition into the new currency reset. This is why they did 2020. This is why they locked you in your house. This is why they closed your non-essential peasant business. They hate you. Do you understand? These people are extremely, extremely evil. They told you Bitcoin was a scam over the last 15 years when
They
I told you
did.
to buy every last Bitcoin you could possibly get your hands on. And now this. So the 30-year treasury passes 5%. The dollar, which is slumping now, I believe will officially collapse this summer. As we approach the Bitcoin conference in just about 2 weeks, I think we're going to break new all-time highs across the board. So this is going to be massive. U.S. states are preparing for secessionist movements and possibly civil war, which it appears to be that the Democrats actually want, because Texas, Florida, and South Carolina, those great states, I love those states, have a higher credit rating than the trashed, bankrupt USD. And the federal government itself, which has been absolutely destroyed under the leadership of people like Nancy Pelosi and others
Yeah.
all these years, like best Wall Street traders we've ever seen. I mean, they
Babadook.
outperform hedge funds. And now my friend Ray Dalio, a fellow billionaire, has this to say, and I want to read this to you. He says that the U.S. government debt, this guy is like mainstream. He's not the general. He's a mainstream guy. I know him. He's a very smart man. He's a founder, creator of Bridgewater and Associates. I've had a couple beers with him. And I can't even tell you what he's told me personally. But he's on CNBC.com today, May 19th, 2025. He says, quote, the risk to the U.S. Treasuries is even greater than what Moody's is saying. Everyone knows that a massive systemic collapse event is going to implode U.S. debt, that we are worse here in the United States than the Pigs Nation style collapse that we experienced post 2008-09, that you have seen nothing yet, with bond yields soon to soar and a panic going straight into Bitcoin and crypto like I've predicted for freaking generations. It's not even that these things are safe havens anymore. It's that the U.S. dollar is freaking dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's dying. It's freaking dead. These scumbag elites have stolen everything from you. and you're not in yet, you're not fighting back peacefully. God be with you all. I will continue to fight on your behalf and to restore freedom in 1776. We have a massive dollar collapse on the horizon. Share this video. Get your money out of the banks now. Click the links below. Contact my father. See if it's a good fit for you at islandproject.com. You need to get out now. You have no idea what's coming. And I'm very worried. Very, very worried. Worse than 2008 and 09 and 2020 combined. Get in. Stop hesitating.
When I heard this, boy, it made me super nervous. He got 2.7 million views on this, and he just posted this 2 days ago.
Wow. I mean,
somebody, hold on before you go. Somebody said, Grok, summarize this crap in 2 sentences. The video predicts U.S. bond market collapse, dollar failure, and the shift to digital currency like Bitcoin, urging viewers to withdraw money and invest in crypto. And evidence suggests bond market vitality, but no imminent collapse, with the dollar stable and no widespread support for a systematic reset or cessationist claim. So,
well, we've already heard it from a couple of people who are prophetic that have mentioned this as well. So, I mean, now
collapse is coming, people.
So I guess, you need to educate yourself on this crypto game here. And now I got to switch my little investment strategy once again. But listen, be smart.
I believe there's 2 things that's coming, and we're going to end, and we can end unless you have something to say. We have a market crash, an unbelievable market crash. We just didn't know, because when life is looking good in the moment, you kind of you forget about certain words that said they're going to happen, as well as a second outbreak of, possible outbreak of, something health-wise that could be worse than 2020. Yeah. But when we're in living life back in its norm, you put everything behind you and you're not prepared for a complete total shutdown.
Right. Well, once again, that's where your supplies come in handy,
and your money.
Yep. Your cash on hand, as well as your crypto, would be some great. I mean, listen to the guy, put the link in the description where they can go back and watch this video and listen to it and take heed. It's just time to be smart. But we've been talking about this for the past 2 years, even before Trump got in office. We've been talking about this. So,
if any on you this call that believe in the Lord Jesus, you believe in the Holy Spirit, talk to him and let him be your guide, because that way you can move into the right and not based on your emotions or feelings or by mistake.
That's true.
I don't know. I felt that on my spirit to tell y'all that. Move according to, if you believe in Jesus, follow. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you.
If you don't, then you can. You still can. You can get to know who he is, find out who he is, test him, talk to him.
Just like another person.
Yep.
Try him. All right, man. We'll see you on the next one, man. Smash that like button.
John 3:16.
Yep.
Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel.
Bye.